Hello and welcome to the live stream. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. If you can just give me a boom in the chat, make sure you're hearing me loud and clear. Boom, excellent. Hi there Gabriel, nice to see you. How you doing? We've got quite a few people here tonight. I hope you're all doing well. Take Snow here, Gabriel's here, Sven's here, Nico's here. How are we all? Are we all having a good weekend? Drinking a beer and wait for me. Excellent. I'm on the old Diet Coke this evening. So, if this is your first time here, we do a weekly Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. We have a weekly video as well, mostly Mass Effect. I am dabbling a little bit into the Dragon Age scene at the minute as well, so there might be some Dragon Age videos in there too, but mostly Mass Effect. So yeah, if you enjoy the stream, don't forget to hit that like button and also the subscribe button as well. Share it with a friend as well, any Mass Effect friends as well. And I think we're going to get a Mass Effect match going. Cerberus Guy, I see you're in the chat there. You joining us this evening? Take to know you joined too. What do you think? We'll get some news on Mass Effect tomorrow? I don't know, to be honest. I've not heard anything that there might be any rumours that they're going to be releasing a trailer or some news. Or I know all the cast are going on to Streamily. They're going to be signing and doing voice recordings and stuff like that. Really would like one from Jennifer Hale. She's doing it. She doesn't do them very often, and she's doing one tomorrow, but it's like $65, and I'm like, I haven't got that kind of money. So yeah, if you've got chance and you've got some money, you could get a shout out from Commander Shepard herself. Well, I think Mark Meir does it quite often, but she doesn't. So yeah, if you got the chance, then highly recommend you do it. Okay, let's see. Invite for Cerberus Guy. Text note if you just let us know. We can always pop you in a bit later if you like. And so what we do here on a Saturday, again, if it's your first time here, we just play a bit of Mass Effect, and we usually have a conversation topic. So today is going to be all about N7 Day, your memories of Mass Effect, your experiences and stuff. Currently finding a game to get past the menu. Okay, no worries. And so yeah, we'll kick back. We'll get started in just a minute or two. No chance for me from the money. Yeah, I'm completely with you there, Gabriel. Completely with you. I'm all good. Thank you very much, Sen. Thank you very much. Nico gives me a boom as well, so make sure my mic's working okay. Excellent. So, anybody in the Discord chat as well? We also have a Discord as well if you want to come chat with us. There's a Discord link down in the description there somewhere, so you can come and chat with us there. And we're just waiting for Cerberus Guy to come. Hopefully he's got the invite.
Yeah, I'm on my way. It's just my game hiccuped.
Ah, okay. Do you need another one sending?
I'm not sure. No, it looks like it got me.
Okay. To him as well. And let's have a look at the store. We've got some open something.
Cerberus guy also tried to send you an invite.
Yeah, I think I'm in the game. I think.
Nice.
Let's open a Spectre pack then.
There I am.
Ooh, new an N7 Typhon. Any good light machine gun with a face shield. Awesome. We'll give that one a go and. Power
That's a
whip.
pretty heavy gun, but I quite like it.
Cerberus guys here. Thank you very much, Exino. He's put the Discord link in the chat as well. Again, feel free to come join us. Nico's doing his physics homework, watching the live stream. By the way, do we have to pay in order to access the live transmission, or we only pay for a shout out? If I see you in the chat, I'll always give you a shout out anyway, because you'll pop along, Nico. But yeah, it's entirely up to you. You don't have to pay at all. It is free. Okay, what I'm going to do is I am going to. Looks like Take Snow is now gone off Origin. So we'll let him fight with his Origin, and we can always kick out the public slot person, and we'll bring him in if and when he can join us. Let's get started. Let's go and shoot some Cerberus, some Reapers, some Geth, whichever one it wants to send to us.
So how's everyone today?
Good?
Yeah, not too shabby, thank you. A lot better than I was last weekend, that's for sure. How are you?
You're finally over the man flu?
Just about, yeah. Yeah, it's taken about a week to get rid of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty alright. My rubbish soccer team did me a favor and lost yesterday, so I could sleep in today.
Awesome. Any future stream of the Andromeda? I'm going to try and get another stream night going, but bad news though, it won't be until later on in the evenings, which I think, judging by what you would say, Gabriel, it'd probably be around about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning for you. But yeah, I'm oh, okay, does this thing get faster the longer you leave? Yeah, it does. It does. The longer you hold your button down, the faster it fires. Is this the Flame of Vulture? It is, but I didn't spend any money on the Flamer, so I haven't got it. Any skill points, I mean, not really. So it's 11 o'clock, so that's 9, 10, 2 hours ahead. Yeah, so I'm going to be looking, when I do start it, it's going to be around about 10. So yeah, it's going to be about midnight, I think. Probably about an hour later than I do the Saturday. it's purely just because obviously I have a day job and family and kids, and I would certainly love to do some longer streams and earlier streams and stuff like that, but you know, life kind of gets in the way a bit.
Enemy intel backup relays planted on surface. We're running out of time. Find that target and disarm.
As the kids get older and stuff, and things get a bit easier, then we'll branch out a bit more. But for the foreseeable future, it'll be later on in the evenings for me. It's not too bad. Not too bad. I'm not sure about having a scope on it. Ah. Well, it had to happen sooner or later, didn't it? Oh, button.
Target's down. Mission accomplished.
So, yeah, tonight's conversation, I think it was suggested by the server staff over in the Discord,
All clear. Good work.
is 10/7 day tomorrow. So, yeah, it's just if you want to share your memories of Mass Effect or any Mass Effect stories that you've got, feel free to put them in the comments.
Wasn't there an actual interview with all the Mass Effect actors and voice actors, I think, last year on the N7?
There was, yeah. Yeah, I watched that actually. They even got Ash Soroka on there, who voices Tally, and she rarely does any interviews. That was like a big thing for them. I sent her an interview request myself. And she saw it because it popped up that she'd seen that she saw it, but she never replied.
Clean sweep. Well done. Enemy is regrouping. Time to reload.
Even
don't-
the voice actor was there. Sorry, yeah.
Enemies
Oh, I was just gonna say I know Brandon Keener or Garrus's voice actor seems to be quite amenable to talking to people.
Was he? I'll have to try and hunt him down.
Well, I've seen him. He's in commercials for everything. I mean, the first time I realized he was in like 5 or 6 Domino's pizza commercials back in the day.
The ones that kind of do it more as a profession are less likely to speak to you. But the ones that kind of do it, it's hard to describe because even the ones I've spoken to, well, I mean, I spoke to Steve Staley. And he's a professional voice actor, but obviously he only had a very small part in Mass Effect. But yeah, the bigger named ones are really hard to get hold of.
Enemy forces down to
Well, I
half
know
strength.
Jennifer Hale. I've seen at like probably at least 7 or 8 cons, but yeah, I guess she doesn't do a lot of things other than that.
Yeah,
Use a terminal
with the channel not
to
being
load the data.
as big, well, it probably
Finish the job.
wouldn't appear on a radar. Get about 40 to 50,000 subscribers, and then she'll probably might say yes. But, we're a bit way, we're quite a far way off that at the minute.
It's good to have a goal though. I managed to get my sorry, I managed to get my game working now, guys. If you get a free chance.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
kick the-
Hang tight. We'll finish this round and then we'll get rid of that rando. Where am I from? I'm from the UK.
Squad member has flatlined.
Thank you.
Rebel.
Are you from the nice part of the UK or the rainy part?
It's all the rainy part, I think.
I was going to say, is there a nice part?
Leonardo only plays with controllers. Yeah, I'm currently playing with the controller.
Enemy is down to 1.
You have to mod it though.
Am I the only one playing with the mouse and keyboard?
No. Same.
I probably
Well, I guess
should,
I can start. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say I probably should learn to play it with a mouse and keyboard, to be fair, but I'm a bit like Leonardo here. I'm too used to control pads.
Approaching.
Yeah, I know. I guess it depends on the game because I know a lot of people who do mouse and keyboard for RPGs, but I'm the only person I know who plays Rocket League with mouse and keyboard, and it like blows people's minds. They're like, "How do you do that?"
It makes sense to me. I mean, it's a game where you drive a car, you know, and the trigger just seems right like that.
Squad member offline.
I'll after playing all the Need for Speed games on you can select with the keyboard.
Yeah, that's very true. It does become a case of like not wanting to learn a whole new thing, doesn't it? Because it's, you know, in our nature to go with what's easier, and it's, well. it's
Yeah, I
just-
mean, I
it's-
guess
it's
I
convenient.
guess it's what you're used to too. Because like I mean, like I said, I play Rocket League with a mouse and a keyboard, but I could never imagine playing FIFA on a mouse and a keyboard.
Did I play? I suppose you don't really have much of a choice, but things like the
Good shooting. Enemy is regrouping.
isometric RPGs or like the Old Republic or something like that. I play all that on mouse and keyboard, but the stuff where you're kind of moving around quick and
See, Old Republic's one of those games that I don't see working for controller. Like, people talk about, you know, like that game coming to consoles and whatever, but I just don't know how it would work.
Yeah, like how would you manage like 6 hot bars or quick bars with like 4 buttons?
True, but, you know, people always reference, like, other MMOs.
Team member offline.
I suppose the difference is, though, you know, SWTOR was made for PC, wasn't it?
yeah.
Well, you could even say the same thing with Mass Effect. I mean, the multiplayer is kind of different because every character only has 3 abilities. But if you're playing the base game with, there's 8 quick buttons, how do you do that on a controller?
It's fine. At least in Magic City, you stop the time and use all the abilities.
That doesn't get tedious, though, like stopping every 5 or 6 seconds to use a power?
True.
suppose you got like the power wheels and stuff in
And speaking of which, I'm gonna start boycotting the FIFA games.
Stay alert. Enemy is regrouping.
I have to wonder how popular FIFA is in the States, because, you know, soccer is just not as big of a deal compared to American football.
Well, yes, and it's definitely more popular among the younger generation. I mean, like if you're under 40, it's probably more It's obviously not American football, but it's certainly not as. It's certainly probably more popular than you think it is.
Yeah, I never quite understood American football.
I mean, like if you gave the U.S. a World Cup like next year, I guarantee you it'd be the biggest sporting event ever.
I think the States actually are in the World Cup, but no one ever knows because, like, they just don't really promote it, do they? Oh, at least I would assume, like, in the States, because, I don't know.
Well, especially not after the last two.
Squad member down.
Yeah, we didn't even qualify for the 2018 World Cup, and then I was still having nightmares from our knockout round against Belgium in 2014.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to, like, you know, the whole, like, American ideal of how their football has to be, like, the priority.
Oh yeah, college football is akin to religion here. Like that's depending on where you are in the country, that's even bigger than NFL. Like the last city I lived in Alabama had a population of like 98,000, and the football stadium, the college football stadium, sat 101,828, and they're making it bigger.
Well done, team.
Well, it's probably a great way to bring in people, isn't it?
Yeah, for that, like I said, it's akin to religion.
Embedded into network. Use a local server to upload.
Yeah, Jesus played American football.
I think Jesus played every sport, didn't he?
Oh yeah. Golf, tennis.
See, now is golf even a sport? Because I kind of more consider. I'm not saying it doesn't take skill, but I'm saying it's more of an activity. I think.
Well, you know, you play it for trophies and stuff, don't you?
Well, you can also play Counter-Strike and Tekken for trophies too.
I mean, they're putting a lot of things in the Olympics these days.
Counter-Strike.
I don't know if it happened. I remember, I want to, a couple years ago, some guys from Scotland were petitioning to have darts be an Olympic sport, and their argument was it was the same as archery, just on a smaller scale.
Jumpy Popcorn's just arrived. Hello. Nice to see you. Golf is definitely not a sport, apparently.
But it does involve physical activity, though.
Thank you for the light, Leonardo.
I don't know how much you watch golf or not, but the joke we used to make when, like 10, 15 years ago was anything John Daly does isn't a sport.
Is it bad I don't know who John Daly is?
He's like a 5'8", 350-pound American golfer.
That would be because I don't actually follow golf.
You might recognize him if you saw a picture of him. He's famous for wearing ridiculous pants.
Well, the only one I know I could name is Tiger Woods, but that's just because he's on the cover of a lot of golf games.
Actually, the PGA Tour golf games aren't that bad. I don't follow golf, but
The best golf is, I'm assuming you have it in the UK, but if you ever go to a pub, Golden Tee.
oh, is that with the little ball in the front and you have to really?
For extraction.
really, kind of whack it forward to get you.
Yeah, it's got the giant trackball.
Yeah. Blimey, that's going back a few years.
Yeah, but you get a couple pints and a couple pounds of chicken wings. That's like the best 4-player experience ever.
I think one of the best arcade machines I played in the pub was Silent Scope. Did you ever play that? Had like a full-on sniper rifle, like attached to it.
Yeah, we had that at the movie theater, but I don't think we ever had that. I've never seen that in a pub. I think the most fun you can have in a pub, though, is going when there's not a sporting event on and just picking really annoying music on the jukebox.
I don't think I've ever actually been to a place with a jukebox. I mean, I've seen like in a lot of media, like just like in American films and whatever, just like that. I can't think of the right word, but they're just those like those places you drop into just to get like breakfast, and they serve coffee, and they got
A diner?
diner. That's the word. Why was my mind blank then? But yeah, like those places tend to have jukeboxes, don't they? Or some of them do.
Yeah, those are more like traditional jukeboxes, though. I was just talking about now everywhere's got like everything's all electronic on the wall, and you just put some coins in and then pick everything on a touch screen.
True. Well, I wouldn't know what a modernized jukebox is because I've not even seen an old one, but I suppose that makes sense.
Because I know, like, there was one time I'll never forget. It was, we used to be put in a $2 coin, and you could pick 3 songs. So I just picked the 22-minute long special edition of "I Would Do Anything for Love" but by Meatloaf, and then just left. So they had to sit through like 70 minutes of Meatloaf before anything else would come on. Best $2 ever.
Right, so let's get this turned back into a private one. Ah, difficult.
Have you guys had any luck kicking the rando?
Just need somebody else to kick him.
Cerberus guy, have you tried kicking T-Bone?
Good to see you, Curtis.
There we go. Right. Take to know in here.
But what I was going to say before is, speaking of funny Mass Effect stories, while we're waiting, I remember the end of my voicemail message. I changed it forever ago, so it's just it says Tequila Salai, and then I forgot about it and didn't even know it was there until one day I was having a shower, and while I was in the shower, my bank called me because I had an appointment, and then I got out and checked my voicemail and listened to the message, and at the end the guy goes, "By the homeworld I hope to see one day," and I thought that was pretty cool.
Nice.
It does. It like, even though they remastered the game, like Mass Effect does still feel like some kind of niche nerd thing, doesn't it? Feels like something that's still kind of rare.
Yeah, I was talking about that actually with a friend the other day. It's like I see people wearing things like Halo and Mario shirts all the time, and then like, yeah, whatever. But if I see someone wearing a Mass Effect shirt, I'll make sure to go say hi.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm friends with I've got like a lot of geeky friends, but none of them have given Mass Effect a chance, which is a shame, really, because it is like in my experience, it's the kind of thing you've got to be patient with, you know, especially with how the first game sort of takes some time to pick up.
Yeah, my buddies are a bit like that, to be fair. They love kind of... They're really big Destiny fans, but yet they just never tried Mass Effect and never really wanted to get into Mass Effect. I'm like, but you really like Destiny, so why have you never tried Mass Effect?
Well, I know a
Yeah.
few people who just think role-playing games in general are just talking simulators with no action.
What was the first role-playing game that you ever played?
Video game? Does The Legend of Zelda from 1986 or whatever count?
I don't know, is it a role-playing game? I just thought that would be more...
By
like hack and slash,
1986 standards, I think. If you want to go by role-playing games, then I'd say either Baldur's Gate or Icewind Dale. I'm not sure which one I played first.
Engage the enemy.
Acknowledged.
Mine was... it was Deus Ex. My first one.
You know, I've got that, but I still haven't given it a try.
The 1999 one?
Yeah. Yeah. It was the first time that you kind of play a game and you're like, I can make choices and I can make decisions and stuff changing based on what I've said, rather than kind of follow the platform sort of thing.
It's funny too, because the original 1999 Deus Ex, the ending is basically the same ending as Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
Is it like a different colours thing?
Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but so no comment.
Yeah, mine would have been like SWTOR, just purely because it was the reason I got a PC when I was younger.
Man, I was like almost 30 when that game came out. You must be really young.
Oh yeah.
Curtis has turned up. How are you doing? Nice to see you. So let's ask the chat as well. So what was your first role-playing game that you played?
Mission accomplished.
Area secure.
Enemy is regrouping.
Leonardo was born in 1986. I would have been 5, 1986.
I'm not sure, is Tomb Raider really
Still active.
like an RPG?
I'd say that's more like action adventure.
The Solarian
Yeah.
SDG team was shot down. Crack the security on the exposed data terminal.
Copy that.
I thought so, I just haven't played the earlier ones, so.
The earlier ones are probably worth playing, but the platforming and considering their age, they can be a little tedious now.
Short, we need this to happen.
Yeah, the games certainly have got easier. Like the original Tomb Raiders, you wouldn't get little white painted lines of where you're supposed to jump to, grab hold of. It was a lot of wandering around seeing if you can reach that ledge, or hoping you kind of just jump just right to make the gap.
And if you're my age, you spent all your recess and lunchtime in the playground talking about it. Because everyone had their own secret way that they knew how to take Laura's clothes off.
We'll trap the butler in the fridge.
Well, yeah, that too. They actually referenced that in one of the newer games, but I forget which one it was.
Based on the characters, look somehow like the original trilogy more than the legendary one. Are you talking about Mass Effect or Tomb Raider? Happy birthday to your father there, Leonardo. Can't seem to pick you up.
I don't know if it was just me, but I found Anderson's face looked a little weird in the Legendary Edition.
Yeah, definitely. In that latest video that I did a comparison between the old and the new Mass Effect 1, and you can see there's a massive difference there in his face. He looks a bit like they turned him into a bit like the Candyman.
I thought he kind of looked like he had insect eyes.
I think he at least looks less like a potato in the first game.
Oh, my boy's just woken up. Won't be
Is
a
it weird to
second.
say that my biggest issue with the remaster of the first game is it's just way too bright?
Squad member down. One more and it's a wrap.
It's possible to self-res as the ED bot, isn't it?
Enemy is regrouping.
Sorry?
Isn't it possible to self-res as the ED bot?
Enemies inbound.
It is. However, you need to activate the what is it called? The ability. I don't know the name of it.
Defense Matrix or something like that, I think.
Exactly. You need to time it and activate it 1 second or less before you die, so that it counts and then it revives you. You have to predict when you die.
Oh, I see. That actually sounds less overpowered.
Sorry about that.
Needs help.
My wife is.
Well,
currently-
most of the Turians have a similar power.
wife is currently out with her friends, so my little boy is broken up, but he's okay now. We've got him back to sleep. We're okay. We're all good. Gabe was talking about the Mass Effect. Gabe prefers the models, the original models, over the Legendary Edition. See, I've got Mass Effect. I've got the original, but I've got it really heavily modded, and it does look really nice. And I'm half tempted to leave that one installed and uninstall the Legendary Edition.
Enemy is regrouping. Time to reload.
Because I do like it. I think I do prefer it. I do like what they did to Mass Effect 1. It does look very pretty.
I do love what they did to the Mako as well. It's so much easier to handle. Especially in areas where you've got to travel a longer distance, where you got that booster thing now.
Yeah. But it's And I know Pinnacle States and DLC is not that big a DLC, but even so, it doesn't feel quite complete without it.
I just still think it's a little bit too bright, but that's a very minor complaint.
See, I kind of found it a bit too shadowy, at least at like the beginning in the Normandy, where it was kind of found it hard to see people in the original.
Well, I don't know, it kind of made it feel more like dark and gritty, I guess. Especially like on the mission on Noveria, you're supposed to be in this like dark, creepy science lab where all the power's out and nothing's working and you have to repair everything, and it's like walking through like a Euro club. Like there's neon lights everywhere and fluorescence.
Leonardo's got to go. Thank you very much for coming. Yeah, they did Mass Effect Legendary Edition 1, they did right, but Anderson was a little wrong.
Down to 50%.
A little wrong, but everything else is okay.
The enemy has established a communication.
The only problem I have with the Anderson model is the mouth seems to be strange when he's talking, like it's not aligned with his speech.
I think it, to me, it looks like he's wearing a face mask. It's just like his texture models are still waiting to be loaded in or something. That kind of.
I will always make the argument though that even if the remaster didn't necessarily make good changes or whatever, it did bring in a lot more players into the franchise, you know.
Yeah, that's for sure. And that's always a good thing. I wonder if they'll drop any news on the multiplayer, because they did say if there was enough interest in it, they might add it in, didn't they?
Yeah, that would be a great thing to announce on N7 Day, wouldn't it?
Wow, seem proper British shreds, don't they?
Yeah, I'll try and get to.
Yeah, I think the good thing about the Legendary Edition is that it was, wow. I was just gonna say, is that it was like it's been enough time to get a lot of new people? Because I mean, like, I wonder how many people after 14 years were like 10 years old when the first game came out.
Is it bad if I raise my hand?
Squad member needs help.
I guess not everyone's as old as I am.
I actually, the first one I played was Mass Effect 3, which is, I know it's an awful one to start with.
Enemies down. Good shooting. Enemy is regrouping.
That actually raises a good point. Well, since James was supposed to be, like, if you started brand new with 3, he was supposed to be like the narrator. Did you find it? Did you identify with James at all?
Well, I think I ultimately always found the aliens more interesting, like any player does, but I definitely found it useful when he would like give extra information about things. I think my default, it gave me some default options because I didn't get the interactive comic. So my Vermeer survivor was Ashley.
There is supposed to be a canon version, isn't there? If you,
I didn't actually know that.
like,
Well, I thought Ashley was. Oh, sorry.
say if you don't go through the comic and that there is a canon playthrough of what's happened, but because they don't really want to stick to that, then they're not made like official. But like Liara's your person for Mass Effect 2, who's the one that is the one that runs with you as the ship's getting destroyed. And then Ashley, I think it's Ashley is the one that's with you. Vermeer survivor.
Yeah, and I did still have like Rex as the leader for the Krogan, so I did at least get to know him. And I think a lot of people like will, talk about the ending like it's the worst thing in the world, but the fact that I ended up with such a terrible ending because I didn't know about the war assets thing was like the whole thing that shocked me enough to want to play through it all. Like, because everybody died in mine.
Says they could leave say some comics from Mass Effect 4. Spoiler or teaser. I should imagine they're going to. I don't think they'll do it this week. Run away.
Very cool, actually. Gabriel suggested about a comic to release before Mass Effect 4.
They might have done that like 10 years ago, but I have a feeling they're going to do like a mobile game.
How much story can you really tell in a mobile game, though,
They did release a comic for Andromeda, didn't they? There's a tie-in series to that.
Well, I know that all the DLC for Andromeda that got cancelled got turned into novels. Which is a shame, because the story about the Quarian arc would have been amazing to play, because the novel's incredible.
Honestly, like, if I wasn't so terrible at reading things right now, I would get the other Mass Effect novels, but I'm just not entirely confident I'd finish them. Because I haven't read like 3 of the books I've started.
I'm the same.
Well,
I'll start books and I'll never finish them.
well, could you not get like Audible or something and have them read to you? Like when you're working out or something?
I think there's only one book on Audible, because I looked into that. Which, to be fair, I think is the Andromeda one.
I've listened to a few books through Audible, though at this point I've still got like 3 or 4 that I just completely forgotten about, so maybe I should go back to them.
Squad member in trouble.
I love when you use a metagel and stand up right into a phantom sword.
Yep.
Ashley says Andromeda would have had awesome DLC to make a fantastic game even better.
Well, like I said, if the DLC about the Quarian arc was even half as good as the novel was, that would have been the best thing ever to play.
Damn it. Didn't they mention like Elcor as well going into Andromeda?
We're clear.
Stay alert. Enemy is regrouping.
Maybe they need. Kurt says they need to do Andromeda 2.
The drone is the only thing that survived the crash. Get it online.
But the rumor is that the next game is going to incorporate Andromeda as well. So
Increase motive power. Squad agent confirmed.
Maybe I'll get to finally find out if my Reyes theory is right.
Don't think I've heard that.
About him being the new elusive man in Andromeda, or Helios.
Isn't it possible that he could die though?
If it is, I've never seen it, but I've also never gone out of my way to look for it either.
Because there's the whole thing with that woman in charge of the outcasts.
Sloane.
Yeah, I think it's possible if you side with her to shoot him. By, let him get away, but unfortunately never saw him again.
Real squad member down. Squad member needs help. The drone lost connection. Get back to it. We've got a winner. Good one, team.
Yeah, basically just in a nutshell, my theory was there was an AMA on Reddit, like in 2018, where one of the BioWare devs said that one of the canceled DLCs was supposed to be about how like 5 or 10% of the Hyperion's colonists were actually Cerberus sleeper agents. So I was like, well, what if the Elusive Man was the benefactor, and then he sent a bunch of Cerberus people to Andromeda, and then Reyes could have been the leader, which would make sense. He could have been the guy, the person who killed Garson, and because everything you find from her logs after she dies fits with it being Cerberus related. And then with his position as Charlatan, he basically has unlimited power and resources. So
Enemy is regrouping.
plus everything on Kadar is white and yellow anyway. If you next time you play, go look. There's no Cerberus logos, but everything on that planet is white and yellow.
It's an interesting theory, and it would also I don't know, you never know, maybe that would have tied into Cora having the same last name as the Elusive Man or something.
Team member is hurt.
Like maybe Cora has some kind of involvement or something.
Squad member down.
I mean, there is just the possibility that they just share the same name, isn't
Shuttle is on its way. We'll intercept at LZ.
There is, but you know, typically in storytelling, there's no coincidences, is there?
Ow!
Team member is hurt.
Blimey. That was a bit rude.
Team member has gone dark.
Go away!
Member down.
There's some jumpy, stupid ninja witch kind of just sitting on my head.
Member is hurt.
No, they don't.
Plus, I think Harper, it's not a super uncommon name, but it's uncommon enough that I don't think it was an accident.
Squad member has flatlined. Shuttles in LZ. Running out of time.
I mean, Cora never talks about her parents really either, does she? She just, the only thing she talks about was growing up with Asari.
True. Maybe there was some kind of intention there, you know, with the elusive man's desire to make humanity better.
Yeah, and like maybe she doesn't even know who her dad is, and that could have been like a big thing in the game. It was like, holy crap, my dad's the elusive man.
Do you think
needs a
Cerberus is going to
recording
be in
for
the
it.
next game?
I personally hope not, because I don't know. I like the idea that what Shepard did with the elusive man's base is just done now. It felt kind of final to me.
I think they'll be in there.
Well,
think-
especially, sorry.
I was just going to say I think they won't be, but I kind of hope that they will be.
And I'm not, because we still don't even 100% know what the next game's going to be. And if it does have any kind of tie into Andromeda at all, I mean, like the initiative set off in 2185, and that was like a full almost year and a half before Shepard destroys the base.
Yeah, it would make sense. It's just, for me, it would kind of take away from the finality of the base. One concern I do have about the new game is like, because obviously we know that like Casey Hudson returned briefly, but I do kind of hope that he didn't return and then just leave because nobody was listening to him or he had some creative differences. I hope
But
that it was just
He came back as a general manager though. Didn't he wasn't like lead director or anything like that.
true. Do we know what that role would have involved?
I would say that it would be managing projects on a whole. So he would have his directors who would then report to him, but he wouldn't be. I'd say he wouldn't be directly involved in the actual creation of the game.
Lock down this area. Enemy forces incoming.
He'd be more managing the studio and making sure projects had hitting deadlines and that sort of thing.
He seemed
Interesting.
pretty hands-on with Mass Effect, though.
In the original.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you read, like, there's videos on YouTube about, like, how he'd, like, go, like, weeks without sleep trying to come up with things as basic as how planets look and their history and background and why they're named what they are.
Oh yeah, for the original trilogy, he was the lead director, wasn't he? So, yeah,
That's where they. That's where they had people.
Squad member has flatlined.
Sorry. That's where he hired people to come up with those things about planets and stuff, though.
From what I recall, he had like a pretty extensive computer program that had like thousands and thousands of things on Excel spreadsheets and would just pull in random variables and stuff like that.
Yeah, he
Oh,
created
that
it, didn't he? He created like an Excel sheet.
Yeah, like that.
I heard about that, but surely it couldn't have done the whole description about all of them, could it?
No, I think it just pulled like 15, 20 things, and then he'd take all those and then fill in the blanks to give like a 2 or 3 paragraph story for everything, for each individual place or planet or location or whatever.
I guess I just assumed they hired somebody because I know they had somebody specifically for the elevator conversations. Personally, I think it would have been great if with the remaster they added in like Mako conversations, like like how they did it with the Nomad and Andromeda.
Now that you mention it, I'm surprised they didn't just port some of the dialogue from the elevator conversations over to the Mako.
Then you run the risk of having the same conversations in.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but it'd probably still be better than driving for like 4 or 5 minutes in a straight line over a planet with not a whole lot going on, with nothing, no music or sound effects.
A high-ranking officer in the hard drive he carried are MIA. We need that object. Find it. Good job. Get back to the evac zone. Good work.
Bottom line, they gave up too quick, and the next employee
Gift device.
that they received a memo saying
Locate it and bring it back.
why. It's because it. Yeah, that's right. Actually, they did give up too quickly. You know, I've said it many a time. You know, they
Nice object has been dropped.
should have stuck with it and made it better.
Object has been recovered. We are confirmed.
No Man's Sky had an awful launch. And they did. They stuck with it, and you know, within like a year or so, it turned the entire game round, and it was nothing like the original game that.
Enemies inbound.
Well, I think the thing with No Man's Sky was they just, what's his face, just flat out lied about everything and then added it in gradually. Whereas if you just said, here's what I'm releasing, but it'll have all of this by 6, 8, 12, 10, 12 months from now, I think people wouldn't have hated it as much as they did. Because, I mean, the game at launch was quite good. It was just missing everything they said it would have.
Team member is hurt.
Who's that?
Squad member has flatlined.
Let's create something more. We can shoot at the same time. Mass Effect was released, I did not think that such a complex game would show up.
Good work. Enemy is still active. Stay alert.
If there's something I want from the next game, it is epic as the original trilogy. That was released, it was unique. But it's not going to be unique per se, because it's, you know, this was the start of a franchise, wasn't it? The original trilogy. But they can certainly make it good.
Is there an invisible Banshee there, or did my computer have a screw
Yeah,
up?
there is a Banshee. And she's driving.
Yeah, she's
And I'm
invisible
dead.
to me as well. Oh. Yeah, don't worry. If there's any consolation, it wasn't just your PC. I couldn't see it either.
Well, what is it they say about Bethesda games? Bugs are just features that make the game more extreme or something?
Enemy down to 50.
Bugs are just extra content.
That's what I need to do. I've got Skyrim VR, and I've not played Skyrim VR for months and months and months. I need to drop back in there later on tonight.
You sure you can handle it? VR can be pretty scary.
Skyrim, it's alright. I can't handle Resident Evil VR.
I know that I can send you a couple pretty scary mods for Skyrim. Make it. I downloaded some stuff right before Halloween, and it legitimately makes it pretty creepy.
It's on PS4, so I don't think it'll work. But thanks anyway.
No problem. I just know it's funny. I got a VR headset. I think I mentioned specifically for Alien Isolation, and I couldn't handle it.
I can't handle regular Alien Isolation.
Yeah, I've beaten the game regularly, but in VR, I was just like, nope, so much. I barely even got to an alien. It was just like, you'd just be walking down the hallway and like a poof of steam would come, and I was like, nope, 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 nope.
I think that's what it was for me. Like, I hadn't even encountered an alien yet, but like just waiting for it to jump scare me was just too nerve-wracking.
I should probably force myself to do it just to see if once I get to the hive, if it actually kills me.
They would like a next level version of this epic gaming. More choices and more people with their own story. The next Mass Effect game.
Find them and disable them. Target neutralized. Nice job.
Is there VR for Resident Evil 8? Because I think I've only played it in Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, no, they didn't make it for 8. Ashley's on his 49th playthrough of Andromeda.
Here they come.
That is some impressive playthroughs there, Ashley.
Those are even bigger numbers than I have.
I think I've played it 2.5 times. I remember there was like one time where I just got too annoyed with the Sudoku, so I just never got further. But I do need to create a new character at some point. I do want to experiment with all different randoms.
If you're on PC, I forget what it's called, but there is a mod that just automatically skips the Sudoku for you.
I thought I had that installed.
Yeah, I don't think my PC would. I suppose it would be okay with Andromeda, but I have better luck with it on my Series X.
So that's like I downloaded a mod for Dragon Age to skip the part of the Fade with the Sloth Demon in Origins, and I installed it, but then I kind of felt that was cheating, so I uninstalled it immediately right after.
It's the Orzammar storyline that I'd rather skip. Just takes so long.
Which part of Orzammar, sorry?
When you go to recruit the dwarves.
You mean like where the Broodmother is?
No, the whole going to it is Orzammar already, yeah.
It's probably more just the Deep Roads part of it, I assume.
I don't know what it is, but I just don't seem to enjoy it that much.
Enemy force approaching.
It does get kind of repetitive, I guess.
Ash is only on his 25th Legendary Mass Effect Legendary Edition playthrough. That's impressive. That is really impressive.
I honestly wish I played Mass Effect 2 less before the Legendary Edition came out, because I do. Well, I just wish I could have a reason to go back and, you know, just replay the Legendary Edition over and over.
Just had
Although
no
I have
time
finally-
lately. No time at all.
I get what you mean. I've been swamped in work.
Gable's done 8 playthroughs.
Squad member needs help.
The Legendary Edition as well.
Well, sorry, too late. It looks like Ivan killed you probably because of the melee ability.
Damn it. I feel like that was my fault there. I should have stayed with you, Service guy.
I had a Metagel, it was just so dark I didn't even see the Marauder. It's all good, we got the A team here though, so I have faith in them.
Yeah, we'll be alright.
No pressure.
Enemy is down to 1.
Guys, still only play my old games. Almost done with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and next going to play Andromeda.
Here they come.
That's going to be 5 games on it. Do you need to be having a game of Dragon Age, Curtis? I think you'll really enjoy it.
Speaking of Dragon Age, and since Tim was talking about Orzammar, is it weird that if they were real, I would love to have a Deep Stalker as a pet?
Yeah.
Like, I get the feeling BioWare tried to make them scary, but I just think they're incredibly cute.
Are they the little dinosaurs?
Yeah, the little turkey dinosaur things with weird suction cup heads.
Yeah.
Banshee behind us.
I hate these things.
Squad member offline.
Matches.
Squad member needs help.
Curtis is going to get Dragon Age on his next playthrough, on his next payday. Shouldn't be that expensive now, to be honest. I think you can get both the gold edition. Right.
If you're playing on PC, if you wait till November 24th, everything on Steam goes on sale for the fall sale.
My experience though, if you are on a budget, there's only one DLC I'd recommend for Dragon Age 2. And that would be the one with Peripheus.
I missed that one. Somehow I lived. Yeah, if you wait for a sale, you can get everything super cheap. I know, I got the Dragon Age 2 DLC bundle for like $10 when I had to rebuy all my stuff.
Floppy, I'll try to get you.
There's Black Friday coming up as well, isn't there? I'm sure Steam do like a massive Black Friday deal too.
Well, Steam always has sales.
Tell you what, we're getting pretty good at this, aren't we? We used to be rubbish at silver.
It's pretty true, actually. Pretty sure I don't spend. I mean, I'm going to now because I'm just looking at the Banshee. Oh! Run away!
So does that mean we're doing gold next week?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't spend as much time on the floor as I used to.
Enemy is regrouping. Get to the extraction
Now,
area.
if the doggo on the Normandy is Reaper-based tech,
It was working for the Elusive Man all along.
We mean Sophie?
I don't think I had a dog. Is it the robot dog thing?
Yeah, the Fenris mech in the basement.
Okay.
That's a theory and a half, though. It's a spy for the Elusive Man.
Well, I mean, it could be. You get everyone on the ship was Cerberus, and the email you get is just some random person that unless I'm an idiot, I have no recollection of from the second game. And she's like, yeah, I just left my dog.
I suppose it is the perfect time, isn't it? Take advantage of something innocent.
No!
You don't want a Banshee here.
How did you get so close so quickly? Like ammo.
You gotta love video game logic. You're surrounded by enemies, so you just fire a missile straight down.
Ah, look at that. Brings us right on time.
So we're gonna do a bronze match real quick to make Tim feel better, or?
Yeah, I'm up for a quick bronze match if anybody
I'm good with that. As long as you're still free afterwards, Tim.
yeah. What if you could play Mass Effect 3 multiplayer as a Reaper? They did that with Dragon Age, didn't they? They actually had a whole separate storyline, a whole separate DLC, where you played as the Darkspawn, like an alternate story.
Can you
I never
imagine if
played it
that's
though,
just
to be
what?
honest.
Can you imagine if that was just what the new Mass Effect was? You're a Reaper and you're hunting Liara.
I know that was a joke, but I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to the idea of the game where you play as a bad guy. I mean, you kind of, sort of, in a little bit of a way do in Mass Effect 2.
Even though at every opportunity Shepard's going, "Oh, I don't really work for him. They work for me." It's like,
Well,
yeah,
what was
but
the... What,
you're not going to leave though, are you?
what was the name of the mobile game where you played as a Cerberus operative? It was like Extraction or something like that?
Infiltrator.
That's it.
Yeah, but I've been trying for months and months and months to get an emulation run of it. I've got it, but it does a server check when you first start it up, and because the servers aren't down, it won't run. But yeah, they took that one off, and they took Mass Effect Galaxy off the
One more and it's a wrap.
the iPhone stores.
I'm surprised they took it off, to be honest.
We're clear.
Enemy is regrouping.
Curtis, you wouldn't be talking about Galaxy at War, would you? Because I know you can play as the Empire and Rebellion on that.
Enemy force approaching.
Got it.
Well, that was the RTS game, right?
I believe so, yeah.
No, there was
I
actually
honestly,
a Mass Effect game, mobile game, where you paid as, what was his name? Randall.
Was it Randall Flag?
Something like that.
was it Harbinger's half-sister Randall? Who, for some reason, has a male name, but you know.
It was actually quite hard.
I've heard
as well.
worse names. Well, actually, you know, it'd be kind of fun as a Mass Effect RTS. Where you'd be like,
Outstanding work.
I think they make a Mass Effect Risk game.
Yeah, I found that so hard to get hold of, or it's really expensive.
Line those two.
yeah, I got Risk, Mass Effect Risk, and Monopoly. But the Risk game was definitely more expensive and harder to find for some reason.
Honestly, with all the merchandising they're doing at the moment, I'm surprised that they haven't done like a re-release or something, or I don't know.
The Risk game is fun too, because depending on whether you play as Alliance, Reapers, or Cerberus, there's 3 different objectives. Like, there's a different objective for each faction.
Quite cool. Not just galaxy domination.
But it's if you play as one of the 2 Alliance forces, you're trying to find the catalyst to use it. If you're playing as the Reapers, you're trying to destroy the catalyst. And if you're the one Cerberus guy, you're kind of fighting both sides, and you're just trying to amass a ridiculous amount of resources to do your own thing to control the Reapers, and then that's how you win.
Sweet.
So yeah, there's 2 Cerberus armies, 2 Alliance armies, 2 Reaper armies, and 1 Cerberus army.
Let's wrap this up.
So that's just kind of interesting that, so like if you're the Alliance, you're trying to get the catalyst working. If you're the Reapers, you're trying to find the catalyst to destroy it. And if you're Cerberus, you're just trying to get as much resources as possible
Stay alert.
while fighting both sides. So it just makes for some interesting gameplay.
Enemy force approaching.
Did you know that in Mass Effect 3 Legendary Edition, Kelly Chambers tells Shepard that she betrayed Shepard by telling the Lucid Man everything about the people in Normandy? Yeah, I think she tells that in the original as well.
Yeah, she does.
It's just kind of hard to find her on the Citadel, though. You have to like ask her to dinner or something.
Yeah.
I just hated how there was no middle ground in that conversation. You either get so mad at her that she kills herself, or you're like, oh, that's fine, I don't care that you spied on me for 6 months.
But you must have expected it. You're, like you said earlier, you're on a Cerberus ship full of Cerberus personnel.
Well, that's exactly like why I was amazed that Hackett agreed to go aboard. Like, I'm sure he brought a couple bugs back to wherever he was too.
Enemy is regrouping. Here they come. Understood. Hostiles.
I do think just like a Mass Effect RTS would be great though, because I remember Empire War was so fun when you built the Death Star.
Yeah, I was actually going through that a few months ago, and I got stuck.
It
was
is
like
a
my
pretty
third-
challenging game.
It was like my 3rd planet or something, and I just could not. I had to land and take out like the civilian population there, but I couldn't land enough troops, and they just kept throwing waves and waves and waves at me.
Yeah, it's all about capturing more landing zones, isn't it? So you can have more units on the field.
Yeah.
Well, if you're not used to an RTS, it can be hard too.
We need that object. Find it.
To this day, I can't complete a campaign in that game on normal. Like I can
That's
only
quite
do it on
easy
easy.
as well.
I know I went back to Brood War for the first time in probably like 15 years not too long ago, and it kicked my ass.
Now get back to the extraction. Good. Get back to the extraction zone. Squad members lost the object. Find it. You got it. Now get back to the extraction zone. Good work. Confirmation object has been recovered. Some sensitive flight records were lost in this area. Find it and bring it in. Nice job. Get back to the extraction zone.
Yeah.
Squad member has flatlined.
Can you guys remember in Mass Effect 3 which there's a part where you can have a go, have a pop at Joker?
In what sense?
That he makes like a joke, but it's like a really inappropriate time.
Oh yeah, that's at the end of the Thessia mission, and he says, "Oh, I bet the Asari wish they had more commandos unless Strimber's about now, eh? And then he's like, too soon?
I don't, is that because you can? Yeah, maybe I've not spoken to him now. But there's the point where he speaks to you. He makes this like really inappropriate joke, and then you can berate him.
But yeah, that's
missed
like I
it.
said, that's after the Thessia mission, and then
Yeah.
depending on how you respond to his joke, affects how he treats you for the rest of the game.
Yeah,
I mean, and then you can kind of double down because then later on, you can tell him that you apologize for losing your cool, or you can just be like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I was right."
yeah. 'Cause
Because if you don't apologize to him, then he won't shake your hand right before the last time you leave when you go down to London.
It's not exactly a major consequence, though, is it?
No, but it's a small detail that I
Yeah.
thought was interesting that they put in.
That's all of them.
it's the conversation I want with him for a video that I'm making, but I'm pretty sure I've missed it. I'm gonna have to go back and check my saves. But yeah, it's the point where, because you have a pop at him, and then he turns around to you and says that Anderson told me to keep
Oh,
an
this-
eye on you.
Yeah, the stress conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah, I forget exactly when that is, but it's sometime after you cure the genophage and before Thessia, but I forget exactly when.
is it missable?
Right. I think you have to physically go talk to him to trigger it.
I might have missed it.
I'm
Save it
sure that'd
after.
be an easy 3-second Google search.
Yeah, I've been saving after every mission, so I'll have to go back and check my saves.
Because that's what I've been doing in most of my playthroughs. I try to save, especially after big story missions, have a unique save for each playthrough in case I ever want to go back to get footage for a YouTube video, or if you need footage
Yeah.
for anything. It just makes it simpler.
Here they come.
But I guess I should have said when you sabotage the genophage cure.
I think Hackett had some connection to the Lucid Man long ago when he was young, basically not the boss of Cerberus. Yeah, he would have done Gabriel because hello.
Enemies down. Good shooting. Stay alert. Enemy is
Yeah, because the Elusive Man, he was a Black Ops agent for the Alliance. Wasn't Cerberus actually supposed to be a Black Ops unit?
Find those targets. You know what to do.
Well, that's the thing that always confused me, because Mass Effect 1 says they were a Black Ops Alliance unit that went rogue. But if you read the comics, it says that the Cerberus was founded by Jack Harper, Ben Hislop, Eva Corey, and kinda Saren after they stopped Desolus.
Yeah.
Target out of play. Nice job.
I think it was. It might be that
Targets are down. Mission accomplished.
initially it was going to be a Black Ops unit that went rogue, and then kind of a bit of more like hearsay sort of thing.
Because, yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if they ever addressed that, but the whole thing in Mass Effect 1... The whole thing in Mass Effect 1 with Admiral Kahoku kind of contradicts the comics.
Mission accomplished. Enemy is regrouping. Rendezvous at LZ.
Stress happens right after you fail to get the data. That's it. Thanks for that, Gabriel. Go back. Check my save for that one. How can you not save the Krogan when Rex is the leader?
I love Rex, I just don't trust that his reign is going to last very long. Every other Krogan hates him. I just think someone's going to kill him.
Yeah. People save him out of affection for him. But there's enough people there, there's enough Krogans there that want to return to the old ways.
Well, I mean, his own dad and brother both tried to kill him, so I mean, the rest of his clan even hates him.
They all seem to respect, I'm going to say Eve, but because I can't remember what she said her real name was, but...
Bakara.
Oh, it is Bakara, okay. Because they all seem to respect her. So at least if she's alive, there seems to be a better chance.
Yeah, but it always kind of seemed they only respected her just because she was a female. And there's so few of those that they kind of have to at least pretend to respect her.
I
Hi
thought
there,
it was...
Kalina. Thank you for coming.
Wasn't she
Unfortunately, I'll
part
just
of-
finish it. No, but thank you for dropping by, that's for sure.
Wasn't she also part of some kind of, I don't know, religious group or something? Because she had this special task that she mentions about being trapped in a cave or something.
Well, she was just a female shaman.
Oh yeah, yeah, she was a shaman. I don't know if that earns her some kind of respect or whatever.
And that brings us to another end of the live stream. Say a big thank you to the Cerberus guy, Takes No Sven for the game this evening. It's been absolutely amazing playing with you guys. And thank you very much for everyone in the chat as well. We'll be back again next Saturday if you're around. And thank you very much for Gabriel for turning up, for joining us. I know it's quite late where you are now. And there's also Jumpy Popcorn is in there too. We've got Curtis and Ashley's been here, Nico's been here, and yeah, to everybody else that's currently there at the moment and is not chatting but having a watch. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
I have to go now, but thanks